pass a background check and a drug test. Next, we test for the right skills and work ethic. And finally, we put them through a rigorous 14-week training course to learn the Service Champions way. In the end, we go through about 500 candidates to find that one outstanding technician. So when you open your door to a friendly, smiling Service Champions technician, you know you're looking at the best of the best. Call Service Champions today to schedule an $88 AC Precision tune-up. Our number is 833-777-7777 or find us online at servicechampions.com.
Service Champions, plumbing, heating, AC, and good feed for free.
We're celebrating our 85th anniversary weekend at Stater Brothers Markets. Join us in-store August 14th and 15th. You could win a $25 Stater Brothers Markets gift card during checkout between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. And all digital deal shoppers get 10% off our family of brands. Exclusions apply. Visit us at StaterBROS.com for full details. Thank you, Southern California, for 85 wonderful years. See you at Stater Brothers Markets August 14th and 15th.
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
How are they pulling in no fees and taxes? That's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Call for details.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th in Las Vegas, and win $1,000. You'll see
Billie Eilish,
Cheap Trick,
Coldplay,
Dua Lipa,
Florida Georgia Line,
J. Cole,
Journey,
Khalid,
Lil Baby,
Maroon 5,
Nelly,
Sam Hunt,
Weezer, special guest performance by Phineas,
and more on the T-Mobile Arena stage in Las Vegas. Listen every weekday to win your way there and win $1,000.
You stood around and watched this for the last 2.5 years as governor, and you're going to tell us that now it's unacceptable?
You think if there was not a recall, he'd be saying this?
No. He's a complete phony. And by the way, it is real cheap and easy to stand there and say, this is not acceptable. Yeah, so?
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
Okay, nice line. Now what?
On KFI.
I love it when John's outraged. Jake Wells filling in for Bill Handel, KFI AM 640 Live, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. I'm talking to Phil Barrett, co-owner of White Rose Aqua Cremation in Escondido. It's this new form. It's a greener form of, they call it cremation, but really it's dissolving. You use, they add some, potassium hydroxide flakes, I think, to water to raise the alkali level, heat it, move it, and after, maybe 6 hours, the body, all the tissue is dissolved and you're left with just the bones. And even with implants, you don't have to get the implants removed before you do this process. Very green, the water is sterilized, it goes back into the groundwater system. California approved it in 2017. Phil and his business partner spent about $1 million getting a machine and a business up and running to be open a year ago. Nothing's happened. By the way, if you want to see what the machine looks like, I've tweeted it out at Jane Wells, the story. It's also on Bill Handel's featured page on KFIAM640.com. So, Phil, California approved this in 2017. It was supposed to be up and running in 2020, last year, July. What happened?
Okay, so about 2 weeks before it was supposed to go in effect and in law, the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau, I guess, decided they wanted to make some changes to the application and some of the wording in that process. And so they started this change, which took us down this road that lasted about 9 or 10 months, because once they make a change, it has to go to the Office of Administrative Law, and then it's this back and forth until there's a final okay. And then put in the midst of that, we have COVID, and Governor Newsom puts out executive orders giving these entities additional time to do their job. And so we struggled through that portion of it, and after that, the machine as well had to be approved in California, and that's where we sit right now. The Department of Health is reviewing the specs and data on the machine and going back and forth with the manufacturer on questions they have. And we're hopefully in the last piece of that, but we've kind of heard this before, so I don't count my chickens until they're hatched, so to speak.
Well, let me point out that a similar machine is used for animals already in the state of California. A human machine has been used at UCLA for years to dispose of cadavers. This machine is approved in more than half the states in the country. What's the problem in Sacramento with, and if they blame COVID for everything, come on, I get it, you're still working from home. What's the problem?
So I get, okay, so they write the law, and the state has to adhere and abide by the law. So the law was written, and in talking to some other folks, it was written in a challenging way. So it was written into law. These entities have to basically cover their butt, in my opinion, in what they allow to have happen and how they have it happen. So to me, the holdup is it's time. And I hear different things about staffing or COVID or this or that. In my opinion, it's we are in a position to help, especially during the COVID time, we were in a position to help the problem they are having with bodies stacking up. And you would think that the state would say, okay, we're going to accelerate this. We're going to give you a temporary issuance to allow you to operate. We wrote letters to the governor, wrote letters to the mayor. Nobody responded. And so we're just at their mercy in a very frustrating way.
You have a relationship with the one aquamation machine in Las Vegas, and have you started driving bodies to Las Vegas to use that machine?
We have. And that is that's our workaround right now until the state of California lets us operate.
That adds several hours. Now, you've already been a small business person in California, but have you ever, how would you gauge the red tape and bureaucracy? How surprised are you already being a business owner here?
Well, I'm extremely surprised. I've never had to deal with California in this way as a small business owner. We were able to operate, go take care of our customers and be done. So we were able to do that. In working with California, my eyes have been opened very wide to the bureaucracy, the waste, the lack of business sense, in my opinion, the business sense. And that's what we're all here. We're business people trying to squeak a living out of life and, produce taxes and produce employment and all of these things. And we feel like there's such a stifling when I hit California and that red tape. I was so frustrated. I had to pull back a bit because I was so frustrated because I don't operate that way. You need something done, we are problem solvers, and we solve the problem. Haven't been able to get that out of them.
And Phil, if you had been opened July 2020, you've invested $1 million into this business very quickly. How much money do you think you've lost out in, especially during COVID when funeral resources were needed? How much money do you think you've lost out in the last 13 months?
At least $2 million in revenue.
If you were to do it all over again, would you even do it?
I would do it, but I would have worked through some of these processes, or at least understood it better prior to doing it, because we're sitting on assets that aren't doing anything for us. And so I would have made some changes there, but we still would have done it because it's a really cool business.
And when do you think you'll finally fire up that machine, which sounds so morbid, but when do you think you'll be able to crank that thing on?
My estimation is 2 to 3 months.
All right.
Because once the machine is approved, then we have to finish our process where this whole thing started with the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau's application to run a hydrolysis machine. So we may have some, who knows, obstacles there, but I'm hoping not.
All right. Phil Barrett, co-owner of White Rose Aqua Cremation in Escondido. Thanks. It's a unique, strange business, but it is necessary, interesting, green, new. You'd think if California would embrace it, but we know that story. Thanks for joining us. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, Afghanistan is collapsing. Surprise! How much money have we spent there trying to rebuild that country over the last 20 years, and how much of it disappeared? Jane Wells filling in for Bill Handel, KFI AM 640.
There's a lot of misinformation out there, and none of it is allowed here.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Get the shot or get the test. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. California has become the first state in the nation to require all teachers and school staff be vaccinated for COVID-19 or get tested weekly.
The most important question here is, why would you oppose receiving ventilators when
it's the right thing to do? Governor Newsom says an almost $124 billion investment in schools this year will help pay for the policy
to keep our most precious resource healthy and safe, our children.
As for enforcement,
well, it's the same way all the rules and regulations within the school system are enforced. And we have an ed code, and there's progressive sanctions, and we don't distinguish this versus all the other rules and requirements.
Several school districts have already implemented a similar vaccine policy, though the LA School District requires weekly testing regardless of vaccination status. Corbin Carson, KFI News.
The number of people hospitalized with COVID-19 in LA County is up to its highest level since late February. Health officials say hospitalizations have increased by more than 700% since most of the COVID-19 restrictions were lifted in California in mid-June. At that time, there were 233 people in the hospital in the county with COVID. Officials say as of yesterday, there were 1,648. Public Health Director Barbara Ferrer says most of them are unvaccinated. A man's been shot and killed in the Fairfax district outside a shoe store where he worked. He was trying to break up a fight during a shoe raffle. This man who worked with Jaron Bradford at the Shoe Palace on Melrose says Bradford had just showed up yesterday before his shift when things went south.
We confronted them saying, like, what's the problem and, like, what's the deal? And everybody shifted their, like, aggression towards Jay, and they were here with other friends, so they all surrounded him. And that's when he was shot.
The shooting happened about 12:30 p.m. The shooter took off in a silver Toyota Camry with temporary plates. Nearly 80 dogs belonging to one man have been taken from a homeless camp in Riverside County. Animal service officials say the animals weren't neglected or abused, and the man is a hoarder who had problems with animal control before. The dogs have all been taken to a shelter, and the owner will have a chance to get them back, but if he can't, they will all be put up for adoption. Health officials in Florida say they've asked the Biden administration for a shipment of breathing devices to help with the COVID-19 surge, even though the governor says he knew nothing about it. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says Governor Ron DeSantis doesn't seem to want to help.
The most important question here is, why would you oppose receiving ventilators when you clearly need those in your state, given the percentage of hospitalizations that are occurring in Florida?
The State Department of Health says it's asked for 200 ventilators, 100 smaller breathing devices, and other supplies. Florida is currently dealing with a record number of COVID-19 related hospitalizations. NASA scientists say an asteroid the size of the Empire State Building is headed toward Earth. They say the chance of it hitting the planet is about 1 in 1,750, but they say people shouldn't worry, since no one alive today will be around when the asteroid comes near. The most worrisome day could happen September 24th, 2182. And you can be Matt Damon for a year.
NASA's taking applications for people to live in Mars Dune Alpha. The 1,700-square-foot Martian habitat inside a building at Johnson Space Center in Houston was created by a 3D printer. 4 people will live there for a year, working a simulated Martian exploration mission, including spacewalks, limited communications back home, restricted food and resources, and equipment failures. As of right now, no windows are planned and no potatoes like Matt Damon grew in the movie The Martian. Applicants need to be like real astronauts, be between 30 and 55, and be super smart with lots of education or pilot experience. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
We're watching the 134.
I want to stash a couple of bags of Twinkies before you do that. Okay, westbound 134, Pasadena to Toluca Lake. It is good until, here it comes. It's not that bad, though. Until you get a little bit west of the 2 freeway going to Glendale. There was a crash. We were circling over it just a little while ago. Lanes were blocked, but it was West 134, San Fernando Road, just before the 5. But we watched it clear over to the shoulder. So all lanes are open. Again, it'll just be a little slow. Once you get past this, pretty good drive. over to the 170, better than usual, really, I would say. And so is eastbound south. Now, coming through Sun Valley, this has been kind of a long plane problem if you're coming out of Newhall Pass after suffering on the 14, by the way, which has been in trouble all morning. But southbound from the 118 down to the 175 split kind of slow. There was a crash in the right lane right at the 170. Arleta got pretty busy, so just be careful. And going through Bellflower now, westbound 91 Lakewood, that's west of the 605. Carpool left lane was blocked there for a while. It's slow from Carmenita, but a real backup starts right at the 605 through Lakewood. Now, that's not too far. If you have extra time, you'll be okay. Other than that, Artesia Boulevard, always the way to go. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Bach, KFI in the sky.
You heard about the new mask mandates, but have you heard about the new government program paying your business up to $33,000 per employee? $33,000. This isn't a loan, it's a grant, it's free money. Challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded InnovationRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. At InnovationRefunds.com, our tax attorneys and CPAs are experts at helping businesses like yours to get their share of these government funds. InnovationRefunds.com does all the legwork and doesn't charge you a penny until you receive the money. Our team has helped 6,000 businesses get $450 million, and InnovationRefunds.com can help your business to get up to $33,000 per employee. Just go to InnovationRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, answer a few questions. No risk, high reward, InnovationRefunds.com.
Hi, it's Wendy Walsh. It's summertime and the beaches are breezy. But wait, do you still have those embarrassing blue varicose veins on your legs? Don't worry, West Medical can erase them fast with their minimally invasive varicose vein solutions. Varicose veins can't heal on their own. Call the vein experts at 1-800-WEST-MED for a free same-day phone consult. Treatment's covered by most PPO insurance. Call 1-800-WEST-MED or visit westmedical.com.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Your KFI Financial Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is down 115, S&P down 2, NASDAQ up 8, and the average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $4.40.
The KFI Money Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. Protect your business with a monitored video verification system. Visit bayalarm.com to get protected today.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly sunny today. Temperatures will range from the 70s at the coast. We'll be in the mid-80s for Orange County and the metro areas, and it looks like we'll be in the upper 90s to right at 100 for the valleys and the IE. 72 right now in Orange, 73 in Brea, 76 in Burbank, and 74 in Santa Clarita. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
KFI AM 640. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Even in space, where the asteroid is going to hit in 2182. I'm Jane Wells, filling in for Bill Handel, who is recovering from surgery and doing very well. Before I get to talking about government spending, I just have to say, I know there are big problems in the world, and I'm very privileged and lucky, but nothing makes me crazier than when Trader Joe's stops selling something that I love. I hate it when I go into Trader Joe's, and the thing that I love is, and the latest is the Sublime Ice Cream Cookie. They're not there anymore. They used to have Journey to the Center of the Cookie. That's gone. The Sublime Ice Cream Sandwiches, now gone. It makes my head explode, which shows you that I have no. You're laughing more.
No, I'm laughing because literally yesterday, I didn't see the salad that I usually like to get there. And I almost tweeted, all caps, like, oh my God, I can't believe, it's really being a Karen or whatever. And I'm like, should I really be complaining about that? But I feel the exact same.
It shows that we are the luckiest people on earth.
True.
That what pisses me off is I can't get my Sublime Ice Cream Sandwich. I was furious at Starbucks for months because I couldn't get green tea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm mad at them right now for the lack of nitro cold brew that they often have.
Yeah, Starbucks and Trader Joe's, I've been told, you don't you don't bond with their thing.
Their Game of
Little
Thrones.
thing.
Yes, exactly. And it'll be, it's just gone like that.
Right.
It's gone overnight.
No warning.
No
Jane, can I make a
explanation.
suggestion?
Yes.
As a replacement, because obviously we can dwell on it, but ultimately you want to move on to something else.
I guess, yes.
They have these little drumsticks.
But that's what I bought.
And shout out to my wife because she does all the shopping and she does a great job and she gets these little drumsticks
I bought
and they're
that.
fantastic.
My God, are we all on the same ridiculous Trader Joe's wavelength? I got those drumsticks. I got the chocolate chip ones dipped in chocolate. Look, I think they're new. Maybe that's what they replaced them with. They're not new?
No, they've been around for a minute.
Oh,
They're probably going to be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll be gone already. It makes me nuts. And I still miss Journey to the Center of the Cookie, which has been gone for probably 5 or 6 years now. I'm also angry at Trader Joe's for never having adopted curbside pickup or online ordering during the last year and a half. And yet, I still go there. I've been looking at spending the U.S. government, you and me, year to date, that's according to the Treasury Department, the government has taken in $3.3 billion in various taxes. 3.3 trillion. They have spent 5.8 trillion. So again, we're in funny money time now where it doesn't really matter. The deficit and the debt don't really seem to matter. Individual income taxes year to date, 1.7 trillion. The largest expenditure has been 1.5 trillion for income security, which I guess means stimulus and extra unemployment. So there you go. That's excellent. That's nice to know. We have about a $2.5 trillion deficit, but that never seems to care because it doesn't make any sense. It's not real money. Afghan, Kabul is expected to fall much more quickly than even Americans expected. What a surprise. I'm working on a story that I just want to touch on briefly because it's coming out later on my bulletin, janewells.bulletin.com. How much can I, flog that here today and tomorrow? And I will. I talked to the Special Inspector General for Afghan Reconstruction. His name is John Sopko. He's been at the job for 10 years. And his job is to monitor what happens to U.S. money, U.S. taxpayer money that has gone into the effort to reconstruct Afghanistan. Now, all told, he says, we've spent almost $1 trillion in Afghanistan over the last 20 years. $1 trillion and lives. Of course, now, probably all for nothing, just like the Russians learned, just like the British learned 100 years ago. But for reconstruction purposes, we've spent about $145 billion in Afghanistan on various programs, and you have to use contractors a lot. So you expect that there would be some fraud, some waste. John Sopko believes at least a third of that money, so about $50 billion, disappear. There were things that were going on where you would pay for new police officers for the Afghan Defense Forces and new soldiers who were not real. In fact, he said, one of the politicians there pulled him aside and said, look, you're paying some guy to be a government employee, to be a police officer, and to be a soldier. You're giving him 3 salaries, and newsflash, that guy's not real. They saw this so many times. He says they managed to get a lot of people convicted, and they probably saved us about $3 billion, but just so much went nowhere. And I said, can you give me a couple examples of what went wrong? Well, a lot of went wrong is that the military is taught to destroy economies, not to build economies. And yet, because it was too dangerous to bring State Department personnel or USAID people in to do the nation building, the military was then tasked with nation building. Well, they don't teach you that at West Point or the Naval Academy, They teach you how to destroy, conquer and destroy strategically. They don't tell you how to build it back up. So you had, for example, he's pointed out a case where they needed to train police officers. They could not bring in civilians to do that. They ended up using U.S. helicopter pilots with 0 experience in law enforcement. They were tasked with training the police force, some new recruits. And according to the Inspector General, They had no training, so they watched TV programs, American TV programs about police. Maybe they watched Cops, I don't know. And that was the training these U.S. helicopter pilots used to teach Afghanis how to be police officers. And I'll give you one more example. It'll all be in my bulletin once I get it together. There was this program to restart the economy where they were going to help the wool industry in Afghanistan. So they were going to fly in female goats from Italy to get busy with some male goats in Afghanistan. Well, they got the goats, and they got them to Afghanistan, and they all either died or were eaten. But that program was considered a success because the goats arrived. Mission accomplished. Didn't help anybody, didn't help the wool industry, but that's how the problem with the way people were rewarded during the last 20 years as we tried to reconstruct what is now being torn down. You were rewarded for money you put on contract. Whether the program was worth it or not, hey, look, I gave them $80 million. Excellent, good job. All that money, all those lives lost. And for what? When we come back, we're going to talk about another part of the world, Peru, where I am for some insane reason and planning to head to on Sunday. Jane Wells filling in for Bill Handel, KFI AM 640. Here's the news.
The White House is planning to take action to lower gas prices by calling on OPEC to boost oil production. A hearing set for the Boy Scouts of America in the bankruptcy case. The group will ask a judge in Delaware today to approve an $850 million agreement. And it looks like Governor Cuomo is leaving office with his lowest favorability rating of his 10 years. A Marist poll shows he's at 28%, which is down 22 points from his previous low in February. Oh, Alec Baldwin tweeted support. He's one of the 28%.
Excellent, thank you.
We'll take a look at your drive with BKFI in the sky next.
If you thought you missed the lowest mortgage rates in history, you're in luck. They're back. Mortgage rates are near historic lows again. So if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering a low 30-year fixed rate at 2.25% with a 2.37 APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.25% with a 2.37 APR. Second chances don't come around often, and you may never see these rates again. So refinance it and forget it. That's a 30-year fixed at 2.25%. Yes, 2.25% with a 2.37 APR. Call the experts at Network Capital right now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the Financing Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate lock. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
Christina wants to give a shout out.
Thanks, Joe, from AIS. You saved me a ton of money.
Well, that's my first car insurance shout out. You must have saved the time.
I saved over $1,000 a year with AIS.
1-800-777-4AIS.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today with temperatures from the 70s to the low 100s. This report is brought to you by AIS Insurance. Let's take a look at that drive now. Jeff Ball, where are you heading?
You betcha. 605 now, coming away from Irwindale all the way down to Downey. It's really not all that bad. If you do this every morning, especially around this time, it's definitely slow from about Rose Hill down to the 105, but that's kind of normal stuff. The good news, all lanes open. We just got word, we're over the East LA interchange now. We just got word of a possible problem northbound around Lower Azusa going up towards the 210, so just be careful going there. Now, the 5 is what I wanted to tell you about coming up from Buena Park. It's getting a little slower and slower, getting through Valley View, no question about it, and then it's slow from Norwalk through to 605. But once you get up to, well, around Slauson, from there up to the East LA interchange, things are looking pretty good. West 91 really got complicated. The Ortiz Freeway, there was a problem at Lakewood, west of the 605. Then another one westbound on Long Beach Boulevard. That's around the 710, so kind of slow going there, but I don't think it'll throw you too far off of your schedule. We'll go out to Santa Monica Freeway. It looks semi-normal to me, which means real slow. We sell an interchange out to the west, but anything in your way, I'll let you know. Don't go away. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by iaccidentlawyer.com.
iAccident Lawyer, actual claim.
I was hit on a motorcycle by a truck, resulting in serious leg injury. My first lawyer downplayed it. Then I called iaccidentlawyer.com. They got me $8 million on my first home of cash, and I got savings for the rest of my life. Thank you, iaccidentlawyer.com.
Attorney Robert Koenig, results vary, not a guarantee.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses and automatically adjusts to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. It's the biggest sale of the year where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the new Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
For nearly 60 years, the General has been saving people money on their car insurance. With affordable rates and the ability to pick when you pay, the General understands that every dollar counts and wants to give you the flexibility you need in your busy life. For the coverage you deserve at prices you can afford, call 800-GENERAL, that's 800-GENERAL, or go to thegeneral.com and get your quote today.
For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, make the right call and go with the General.
Some restrictions apply.
Still loving those Solar Max panels, yeah?
I just wish I went Solar Max sooner. I'd be saving even more money.
Right now, you can get the Tesla 420 panels and power walls for $79.96 per month and zero down.
Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Solar Max, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credits. I guess will be number 97204.
Are you one of millions of people across the country thinking about retiring earlier than expected? Join us on Tuesday, August 17th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern for our brand new virtual event for you called 9 Wealth Strategies. You will get our 9 strategies that can help protect your wealth and plan your income. Register for free at EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. Your wealth and ultimately your legacy face 3 risks: rising taxes, inflation, and healthcare costs. At our special virtual event called 9 Wealth Strategies, you'll get advice on how to help protect your wealth from these risks. Our advice is based on 30-plus years of experience and managing more than $270 billion. Please join us for this special virtual event, 9 Wealth Strategies, on Tuesday, August 17th at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. See how to do 3 things: manage your wealth, minimize taxes, and plan your income in retirement. Go to EdelmanFinancialEngines.com to register for free. That's EdelmanFinancialEngines.com. From here forward.
When people talk about how hot it is, I have to remind myself they're not necessarily talking about me. Now here's top reasons to visit Bermuda.
The Oasis pool is jumping. Jump into a cabana. It's all fun to us.
Number 2.
You can get an awesome vertical meal prep cooler when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 16th or 17th.
And the number 1 reason.
Earn 500 points on your rewards card, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and you're guaranteed to win up to $100 cash or free slot play.
Morongo! Good times!
When it comes to keeping you safe, Bay Alarm brings the best. Family-owned and celebrating 75 years of professional personal service that's second to none. Bay Alarm, celebrating our past, securing your future.
ACO28CCL880138. If you've been avoiding the dentist for years because you have dental anxiety, or you're afraid of getting bad news about your teeth because it's been so many years, here's a solution. Conning Dental specializes in people who are afraid of the dentist, people that need major work from years of dental neglect. They can do all your dental work while you sleep. They'll put you in a gentle twilight sleep or give you full anesthesia and repair years of neglect in 1 or 2 appointments. You wake up to a beautiful new smile. It's a dental treatment done without anxiety. And they'll do dental implants, crowns, root canals, smile makeovers, new permanent teeth in a day, all that. They've rebuilt smiles for over 52 years, 4 generations of dentistry. $500 off on any sleep treatment. You can now sleep through any procedure. Offer expires August 31st. Restrictions apply. Call 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Cutting dental, simply the best. Cutting dental, simply the best.
You know, I wondered what they were going to do about the learning loss. And it's like, well, here's the answer. We're just going to put them and pass them through.
And then we're going to be told we have to supply an annual basic income for all these people.
Because the stupid governors closed the schools.
John and Ken.
Weekdays
at 2 on KFI.
KFI 640. live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Jane Wells in for Bill Handel. Breaking